This is TWiT.
Are you ready for the Reddit IPO? Did you read their 10Q? Learn all about it?
I may not be ready, but the top 75,000 Redditors better get ready, because Reddit is going to give them the opportunity to buy shares before the IPO.
Yeah, they're not giving them anything.
They're not giving them anything.
Hey, guess what?
You get friends and family price.
You can buy some shares. 40,000
shares beforehand.
40,000 word prospectus for this IPO.
Is the cap table in there? I wonder what the new house is on.
Yes, it is. It is. You know, who one of the big shareholders, 8% goes to Sam Altman.
Yeah, because he invested. What about Advance?
I'll have to look and maybe you can get ChatGPT to do that for you. It
was when I failed to get Steve Newhouse really wanted Dig, and I failed to get it for him.
So really?
He got the second prize, which was Reddit.
Oh yeah,
he bought Reddit.
Reddit was basically a Dig clone. Interestingly, it was founded by Alexis Ohanian, who's now married to Serena Williams, and Steve Huffman, who's the current CEO. Huffman, who apparently did the prospectus, the S1, conveniently left out the name of Alexis Ohanian throughout the entire history of the founding. Oh. Didn't mention him.
That's not nice.
And Huffman,
I think
by
also,
the way, go ahead.
Notably, the filing revealed that Reddit's CEO was paid $193 million last year, which is notable because last year Reddit's net loss in terms of revenue was $90 million.
They lost 90, but paid him a $193.
They paid $193. So, that's just good business.
And they don't pay the people who make Reddit anything, including the $60 million they got from Google.
Yep.
I'm trying to find, let's see, Advance has 16,000 shares, which is not much, actually.
No, they must have sold out earlier.
Yeah, that's, it's...
Stephen Newhouse has 16,000. It's my old boss.
Yeah, but this is none
Advanced
of this is...
magazine publishers.
Yeah, 16,182. 16,182. That's an asterisk.
Oh, wait a second. No. 42. No, go over to the right. No, you're in the wrong. Shares. Wait. Oh. 42 million shares.
That's of Class A and Class B.
Oh, Class A and
you could
Class
say
B.
percent of total outstanding.
Yes.
So Steve Newhouse alone has
30%.
A third.
As does
Advance.
Company,
has a third.
And Advance has a third. So they own 2/3. So if the IPO is going to be at what total amount? What's it going to value the company at?
I can't remember. Do you know, Paris? Let me see if I can find that.
Not off the top of my head.
It might not be in the S1, actually. I don't remember.
Because what Steve did was he bought it for very, very little money and then spun it off so they could create equity, so they could build this kind of value with employees and such. And it was a very smart strategy.
Yeah.
He gave up some ownership of it to create the equity.
But he still has a third. That's pretty good.
He has 2/3. He has
2/3 because he has
company.
the Advance is his too, right? Unless it's the same third. No.
I don't think so, no.
It's not saying what the amount
Reddit
is.
IPO valuation.
There you go.
It was valuation at $5 billion, I think.
Yeah, $5 billion. Yeah, but
Reddit's bankers are seeking a valuation of at least $5 billion in the IPO.
So 2/3 of $5 billion.
That's not shabby. That's not shabby at all.
For a very small investment, and you get a few $1 billion, it helps when, Conde Nast isn't doing so well. The newspapers are newspapers, that eases the pain.
As Reddit points out, though, and I wonder, by the way, they may not go IPO. They just filed, the requisite papers. They haven't said we're going to do it for sure. And one of the real issues is that Reddit's value really comes from 60,000 unpaid volunteer moderators.
Yep.
and all the content comes from you and me and everybody else who uses it, not from Reddit. So there's another case of a company. I mean, that $5 billion is value generated by everybody who posts on Reddit.
Right. And same thing, as I said, they got 60 million just from Google for buying for AI rights. And then reportedly WordPress and Tumblr are doing a similar deal. And I'm on WordPress, and am I getting any value of that? No. Though you could argue that in the case of Reddit, this is how you can use this service for free because they're making this money. You can argue it both ways.
There's a lot of ads, by the way, on Reddit. I pay for Reddit, but apparently I'm one of the very few who does. It is not a profitable enterprise.
I'm still shocked by the fact that one of the ways that Reddit made money, obviously it's kind of negligible in comparison to everything else, is through like currencies and little tokens like Reddit Gold.
Right.
And they've changed that system over the last year in a way that I use Reddit all the time. I used to see people awarding Reddit Gold to comments and posts left and right. It was a common daily occurrence. I cannot remember the last time I've seen it since they changed it.
They took it away.
A big up. They changed it to like you can pay to have like a golden upvote now.
Oh.
And no one is doing that, which is just an odd move financially.
Can I ask you both an old fart question?
Yes.
I don't really use Reddit, and I know it's valuable. I know there's stuff there. You both use it, but it befuddles me. It's a lot rather like Discord. What's the best way to use Reddit?
Funnel all your Google searches that way.
Yeah, just do.
I mean,
site
okay, yes, there's one use that is like, yeah, if you're looking for specific answers on something, you could search Google, but add
But do you
Reddit
check in regularly at Reddit? And say,
I check
wanna
in
see
regularly in
what's new.
Reddit. I have just a bunch of different like communities that
That's
I
the
subscribe
key.
to.
Crazy
like, for
ones?
instance,
That's the whole
like,
key.
You know,
what you follow, what the communities you follow are.
Different video games that I'm playing, I will subscribe to those communities and get really into it. If I'm watching new TV shows, I will get really... I honestly mostly use Reddit to keep up with the various reality franchises that I follow because I love the intensity of those communities and that they're always posting about one of the characters in the show doing X and Y. So it's, I don't know, just
Do you
very
use it for
interesting.
work?
Yeah, I have like a work Reddit account as well that I will sometimes use to like reach out to sources and things like that. If I'm looking, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like sometimes people will post like on Reddit about something happening to them, and then I'll want to interview them about it. So then I will reach out to them via
Leo, do you use
Reddit.
it for work?
Yeah, well, so it's part of my beat check. So I'm constantly checking Tech Meme, a variety of RSS feeds, and Reddit. For news, and actually a lot of the Reddit stuff gets on this show. This is where I put the Reddit stuff because it's
Crazy
silly.
stuff.
Yeah, but if you look at the communities I follow, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can go look at the communities somebody follows. Here's the communities, but there's quite a few. So you follow. The key is you follow the stuff you're interested in. Basically, you should absolutely follow r/politics, right? r/news. That's two good places to start, but you would want to add, maybe, I don't know if there's a journalism.
Yeah, there is, and there's sometimes some interesting stuff in there.
Follow categories you're interested in. I'm following, Petaluma has a subreddit, Santa Rosa has a subreddit, the languages
And so when you
use.
follow, trying to scan Reddit doesn't strike me as very easy.
No. So when you follow it, and then
you follow all these, and then it makes a feed.
This is the feed, just like
top stuff
Instagram.
from all the different.
Yeah, it's just like
stuff.
Instagram.
Oh, so you don't
Reddit
go to the subreddit?
No.
It all comes to your
You
feed.
You
can.
Yeah, it comes to your feed.
That's
It's
not how
kind
you
of
use it.
like,
But then you can also choose, and
to
this
use
is-
Twitter as an example. On Twitter, you're following individual users who create the content that populates your feed. In this, you're following subreddits where users post on specific themes. And then once you follow those subreddits, your feed is populated with posts from a variety of users on the themes you have chosen.
The other thing that's important is the feed is a default organized by best, which usually means most upvoted, but there are other categories like hot, new, top, and rising. So you can, if you sort it differently, you'll get different stuff in the feed. So if
Do you bother upvoting things?
I actually am not that active. I very rarely post something.
I upvote quite frequently. I've started upvoting and
I vote.
comments
Yeah,
and stuff more
yeah.
often.
Voting is valuable because you see, this has 40,000 karma, 40,000. So an up arrow adds one, and down arrow takes one away. There's also comments. The comments can be good and can be bad depending on what you're following. So.
So, for instance, you can go over to ChatGPT on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen there. Oh, we've lost.
Oh, I lost
but
it.
But it was about the strange ChatGPT recent responses
Oh,
you know
we
why?
were talking about last week.
That's my
'Cause
recent. That's my recent checks. Okay. So this is stuff that I've opened directly on Reddit. Us on the right. So that's all that is. You see, the top one is lowly worm in his car shaped like an apple.
There we go.
Wait. So you looked that up on Reddit?
No, I looked it up on Google, but guess what? One of the top results was. It was a Reddit.
Oh.
So that's the other thing. Google relies heavily on Reddit. In fact, we learned in the prospectus that they spend $60 million. They just started giving them $60 million a year. And that's partly for training AI, but I think also Google understands that Reddit's a very big part of its search results. Without Reddit, Google's not nearly as good. It's really good if you use Reddit. It's really good if you want to know something really obscure, like what's the best shower head. And there's probably r/shower heads, if not, and there'll be like 10 people. Somebody gave as a perfect example, maple syrup. There is a /r maple syrup. And if you're looking for what maple syrup to buy, going to r/maple syrup is a really good idea because that's where the people who are most invested in maple syrup live. And they will tell you everything you'd ever want to know about maple syrup and what the best maple syrup is and why this is good and why this isn't good. These are a lot of people who make them, but also people who buy them. So I saw somebody commenting. He was in the store and he was trying to figure out which maple syrup to buy. And he asked on our maple syrup. And of course, those are the people to ask. So if it's something really unique, really specialized, it's highly likely that they are all on Reddit. It's
like I like the raw denim subreddit for whenever I have questions about the subculture related to raw denim jeans, or Buy It for Life, which is kind of a larger subreddit about products like, I don't know, the best shower head that would last you for your whole life, or what cast iron pan is the best.
The other thing that's fun to do is there are weird things. You've given me, actually, Paris, some interesting weird subreddits. There are oddball subreddits, and it's good to throw in one of the what is this thing is a good one, or just weird. What is the weird subreddit that you were following, Paris, that you told us about? There's probably quite a few.
Don't know which one you're talking. The one that I'm
/tunnels.
The one that I'm thinking of right now is a strange one called Info Warrior Rides, r/Info Warrior Rides. It is for the cars that are Infowars where it's like cars that have all those crazy messages on them with like stickers.
Oh, I
got to
submit. Oh dear.
And so it's really good.
This.
There's a lot of if you go to go to top of all year.
Yeah. Holy cow. So the thing about this is for a while, it's fun, and then you take it off and you put something else in there. Because after a while, you don't want this too much of this in your feed.
It's like the Ballard Association, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's the thing. Yeah, Ballards. Yeah, you just add it, and then
you laugh.
And then you take it off. Because it will kind of take over your feed if you're not careful. So this is a good one. I like it.
Thank you for this.
Yeah.
This is good.
Reddit's amazing. But it will only be amazing for a month, and then something else will be the next thing.
Well, no, the thing that Reddit did, so after Steve Newhouse bought it, he called me. I had just left the company, and he said, there's this bad stuff there. What do we do? And I didn't have an answer for him. But Reddit found the answer by having each subreddit as its own community. That, I think, was the response to Mike Masnick's theorem about the impossibility of moderating at scale.
I think Reddit was always that way, wasn't it? Didn't it always have subreddits? No?
It has subreddits, but it had a lot of bad stuff. And I think they gave more authority to the subreddits. And they also had the courage to kill some subreddits.
Well, and this was one of the reasons why Huffman and Ohanian aren't friends anymore. In the beginning of the pandemic, there was a real kerfuffle over Black Lives Matter and what to allow on the site and not. Alexis was very aggressive in saying, you got to take this stuff down. Huffman said no. And they had a falling out.
I believe the Donald subreddit, as well as r/Great Awakening, a QAnon subreddit, were some of the ones that kind of broke the floodgates on this. There was also during the I'm forgetting the name of her last name is Powell, of the woman.
Oh yeah, Ellen Powell.
Oh yes,
Ellen Powell. She received a lot of criticism online for moderating the subreddit Fat People Hate and eventually taking it down, which is just a blatant fat phobia subreddit.
They have the same problem though that Twitter does and everybody else does.
Yeah, they do, but it's not at the same scale where you have one service has to do everything. There are subreddits you don't want to go in because they're nasty.
That's right.
They have their own rules and they do it. And you know to avoid them, and it doesn't affect your life because you don't follow them.
Unlike Twitter, they don't leak into your feed. There's
Right.
no cross-pollination of feeds. So if you just follow r/politics, that's all you're going to see. And you won't see, fat people shaming or what?
Putting stuff in my feed all the time.
Oh, yeah. That's the new thing. I turned that off.
You've got to turn off feed recommendations.
Yeah, no recommendations.
Oh.
I will say one other plug for a subreddit that I'm actually obsessed with as of late. I'm going to post in the Discord a Twitter account that is just a cream of the crop version. If it's called Male Living Spaces, it is ostensibly a subreddit where men post their living spaces and be like, oh, like here's my apartment, or things like that. But it somehow, I've been following this forever. It's turned into the saddest place in the world. It's just look at this. This one's a double-decker couch.
What do you think of my double-decker
IKEA.
couch? I think it's a great idea.
I think it's wonderful. You've got this room that just has a lamp or a fan that's sideways.
With a fan that will chop your head off if you get too close. That's good. That's good. Male 30 living with 40 male rabbits. Okay.
Yep.
Yum, yum.
Why not? It's beautiful. There recently have been a couple of, a lot of the posts in this subreddit are like, just got divorced. Here's my apartment with just a chair in it.
Oh, this is the saddest
beautiful.
picture I've ever seen. Staying at my brother's place for the weekend and came across this. It's the silverware drawer. And it's mostly empty except for one organizer with 2 forks, 2 spoons, and a knife.
That's all you need.
That's so. Oh my God!
Did I tell you how my wife was unimpressed with my discovery that kitchen cabinets are the exact right space to store New York Times?
Wow, that's very
Do not store
Bob
New York
Pirro of
Times. Period.
No.
Hey, it's Leo Laporte. I hope you enjoyed this little snippet from our show This Week in Google. For the full show, you can either go to our website, twit.tv/twig, or find Twig in your favorite podcast client. And, of course, there's links right below, somewhere down there, for more information.